Hey, it's Miss Wheeler. Rosie's filming me, and I'm going to show you how to do a 3-step annotation process. This process is really simple, and it requires 3 successive readings. The first reading, you end up just circling what you notice, highlighting, underlining. The second reading, you notice patterns, repetition, any shifts. And then the third one, you're going to write and respond in some way, paraphrasing the passage as a whole. This annotation process is in your book, described on page 35 in more detail. I'm just going to give you an example of one. This is, they do a poem, but I'm going to do a passage that's in our textbook, page 19. And this is going to be similar to what you're going to get on the AP Lit exam, okay? So I'm going to do this one by myself, and I haven't read it, or prepared anything. I'm just going to try this annotation for you and see, what comes out of it. Then you're going to do the same on a passage on page 40 in the textbook, okay? You're going to take a picture of the annotations that you get and upload it this week. All right, so the first run through, here I go. I'm going to highlight and circle things as I read. I sat down in the middle of the garden, where snakes, oh whoa, could scarcely approach unseen, and leaned my back against a warm yellow pumpkin. I'm hearing a lot there. There were some ground cherry bushes growing along the furrows, full of fruit, cherries and fruits. I turned back the papery, triangular sheaths that protected the berries and ate a few. All about me, giant grasshoppers. I got snakes and grasshoppers twice as big as any I had ever seen were doing acrobatic feats among the dried vines. A lot of references to nature. The gophers scurried up and down the plowed ground. There in the sheltered draw bottom, the wind did not blow very hard. I'm going to circle, I forgot to circle gophers. But I could hear it singing its humming tune up on the level, and I could see the tall grasses wave. The earth was warm. I hear that twice, I think, under me, and warm again as I crumbled it through my fingers. Queer little red bugs, queer little red bugs came out and moved in slow squadrons around me. Their backs were polished vermilion, wow, that's a big word, with black spots. I kept as still as I could. Nothing happened. Short sentence. I did not expect anything to happen. I was something that lay under the sun and felt it, like the pumpkins, and I did not want to be anything more. Sun and pumpkins. I was entirely happy. Perhaps we feel like that when we die. What? And become a part of something entire, whether it's sun and air or goodness and knowledge. At any rate, that's happiness. To be dissolved into something complete and great. When it comes to one, it comes as naturally as sleep. Okay. So looking back, I've got a lot of references here to nature, right? We know that we have some that are creatures and others that are organic plant life, right? Now, when we do annotation like this, we're looking for concrete images, right? Because our images give us positive, negative connotation and tone, and the tone can tell us what the author's attitude on the topic is. So nature, as we know, it can be scary as hell and it can be beautiful. Snakes, also in literature, take on a whole symbolic meaning, especially when they're paired with the garden, right? So we're in the Bible in that sense. Can you not lean on my shoulder? Thanks. Okay. The question is, what do we have here? Positive or negative connotations? Giant grasshoppers are scary, and so are snakes. But the overwhelming, when I'm looking in my second reading, right? I'm gonna spare you, but I would go back and I would read it again, and I would come away with this idea that overall we have a mostly positive feeling. The point of view, I notice. Right? I'm noticing a pattern. It stays the same the whole time. It's that first person throughout the entire time. But there is a shift. I notice down here, he or she, whatever, jumps from pretty specific concrete images to more abstract ones. So there's concrete pumpkins and sun and warm air, and then there's goodness and knowledge. So there's a shift towards the end. And he's talking about something as profound as death, right? Becoming part of something entire, which is again like pretty positive attitude towards dying, right? The idea that it's just like a sleep where you join this warm and wonderful atmosphere. So this is what my first and second annotation would look like, and then I would hope that I could jump to a little bit of preliminary writing to paraphrase. So I'm in section 3 of the annotation process. To paraphrase, the speaker is immersed in nature, a warm, benevolent force that's big enough to include him, and something he even wants to, feels happy to join, right? Even if it means a loss of ego, a loss, a sacrifice of life, of death, right? He's got to die to join this, but he's happy to do it. So that's where I am. That's just a little exploratory. So to go from image collection to pattern seeking to exploratory, responsive paraphrasing, that's your job. Thank you so much.